yours.
Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you, Raul. Thank you, Lady Margaret. She's watching us. I'm honored and I'm humbled, more accurately, by this invitation from this organization, WOSC. I heard some of you pronounce it as WOSC. May I add a little bit of twist for the pronunciation and pronounce it as WOSC? Can you follow me? WOSC. You just said, oh my goodness, this is so great in Chinese. Remember, WOSC, you add an E there, right? At the back. That E means education. Okay, so this is a little introduction of myself. Basically, from back to 1979, when I entered into the field of cybernetics and system. And all the way to today that I'm joining WSC and they're making this proposal. This is not a regular keynote speech that's boring you. This is an invitation to all of you, or any one of you, after my talk, if you would like to sign up for this project, then I'm going to introduce it. Okay, so to increase a little bit of awareness, there are at least 3 important processes going on right now. That little blue dot is called the planet Earth. So we are all on that. We're following the sun, going to somewhere. And inside this room, each one of you has that thing pumping and make you alive. And inside here, every one of you has those neurons jumping. Okay, maybe listening to me, and maybe you're thinking another idea, but things are going on. And here you see 3 processes. Actually, if you like, you can see 30, 300, 3,000, any number of the processes currently going on. It depends on your attention, and it depends on your cognitive capability, how much you can handle. So we are here today to consider with your brain, to consider this project that I'm going to propose. Okay, so this is the agenda. You all know I came from a Club-of-Remy. Club-of-Remy had a rule of 7 slides, but since this is a 1-hour talk, so I have 7 sections I'm going to discuss with you. Number 1 is a quick review, a new frame of science and the position of our systems and cybernetics knowledge. Well, where are we exactly in this whole picture called science? And the second is I'm setting this idea that the world needs a hardcore. My hope is the leaders of WSC in the meeting of this afternoon will consider if WSC will endorse this project or not, because this project needs institutional endorsement to reach its goal. So later we may work with the WCSA, ASC, ISSS, etc. I have been a lifetime member of American Society for Cybernetics and also a trustee member. But I like this organization better because it's more international. I mean, more international than ASC. So ASC friends don't agree with me. And then I'm going to present you 5 seeds. It's like I'm a farmer. I bring in 5 seeds here to invite you guys to grow them. Seed number 1 is a young student's learning map towards systems and cybernetics. I emphasize young students because it's not a Norbert Wiener type. It's not a Roche Aspie type. It needs to be something that attracts those youngsters who playing with their mobile phones, TikToks, Facebooks, something that draws them into our field. So that's the number 1 seed. Seed number 2 is a little effort I have been doing for years since my PhD time, 30 years ago. It's expanding cybernetics principles or methodologies or ideas into the area of communication. So I call it communicatics. Why this is important, I will explain. And we can use that seed as the core team building tool, because the project we are going to do needs to be done not by Jason person, but by a team of a collective intelligence, a collective wisdom. So seed number 3 is a taxonomy of system thinking, or I propose to change thinking into auditing, observing, thinking, and acting. Maybe I should put a T there, so it should be auditing, yeah, but it's a proposal. A taxonomy means a collection of all the toolable theories and toolable models. I invented this little word, toolable, which can be used by non-system people. It can be used by managers, politicians, teachers, anyone who are not familiar with the Stafford beer, but still can use the tool. So that is a taxonomy. And seed number 4, I suggest a little frontier area map. The area which needs more exploration, which needs more discussion. It's not mature yet to get into a curriculum for students, but it will be fun to be working on that. So that is another seed number 4. And seed number 5 is this whole proposal is an international based AI-assisted learning center. And the so-called center is just a headquarters somewhere, maybe at the Eagle's office, or maybe at the Raoul's office. But the center means the IT people running that AI-assisted center. So serving the whole world. So students in India, students in Brazil, students in Europe, anywhere can get in touch through their keyboard with us. So that's 5 C's. The color difference is that the green ones are already well tested. The green ones, the first one I had taught in at least 4 universities as a 1-semester course, and well received. The second one, as part of our training product, we got also very well acceptance in the market of China. So that too are ready, already immediately can be used. Now the 3, 4, and the 5 is subject to our collective work if you guys signing up. Where is that sign up? Yeah, it's there, okay. So the details of the C's documents are available to you if you sign up, okay. And to join this project group today, and you have URLs, and you may have that cloud folder addresses. So you can access to all of this. But once you sign up, you will have tasks to do. So this kind of a commitment is what getting the serious to you. It's just not another publication, another co-authoring paper. It's a whole project that really needs your serious consideration. Okay, so quick review, new frame of science. In my honest opinion, too much academic energy was spent on observing, thinking, publishing, and talking. And why providing useful systems and cybernetics knowledge to the public and to new generation were, well, neglected is too strong word, but at least we didn't invest a lot on there. So that my proposal is that let's focus a little bit on there. So let us define, missed that point. We need to review Popper, Kuhn, Lakatos, Fairbairn, Maturana, etc. We need to review their criteria of doing science and use that mirror to look at ourselves. We can adopt at least the Lakatos' perspective of a research program. So I'm proposing a research program today, which points to a hardcore of this curriculum that we are going to create. So because we already had 80 years of experience of this field, and people here all know how good this piece of knowledge should be, but very few people in this planet are aware of that. Maybe all of the systems organizations I know had less than 300 members. So it's a little, tiny little group. We need to enlarge that group. In order to do that, we need to get us prepared. So we need to define our position in the whole picture of human knowledge. So we need to expand this existing university departments like mathematics, philosophy, management, science, computing science, and so we need to squeeze in and become our own, well, we don't like that word department, become our own task force in all the universities. Because where there is a complexity, there is a system of cybernetics that we can contribute. We need to adopt new 4 sciences framework. That's my proposal. So in that framework, which I will explain in next slide, systems and cybernetics is at the margin of science 1. Okay, science 1 push to the boundary, boom, comes the Nobel winner, McCulloch, Stanford Peer, and Hans von First, on the margin of a first science. The full territory of science 2 is going to be defined, should be our territory. And the half territory of science 3, and the pioneering into science 4. So, and we also need to develop this curriculum so that we also can build an online coach Robert, CyberGPT or something like that, and learning centers with volunteers, facilitators, teachers, coaches, network. So scalable school of systems and cybernetics via internet that can help young leaders to improve their cognitive capacity is the proposal. Okay. So here is my category of 4 types of sciences. Everything you talk about natural science falls into science 1. This thing's not working? Okay, anyway. Science 1 start from physics all the way to part of the psychology and sociology. The goal of science 1 is to find facts and the natural laws by a community of observers named scientists. Okay, in science one, you have to have 100% of cognitive stability of observers so that student can say, okay, follow the science because you have that kind of stability there. And the Bible author could be Galileo, Newton, Einstein, and the Popper's idea of falsification going on there to make sure you have 100% cognitive stability. And there are shared rules of the game in science one. Only in here, we have a few paradigm shifts over the history and the change of leading metaphors. So that's an area everybody are very familiar with. Now, science two starts from part of the psychology into sociology, political science, international relationships, everything that deals with human. So the goal of science two is no more facts. So about, for example, who is the better candidate of United President? Okay, there's no fact there because half people believe that, half people believe that. The goal of science two is what I call 6 C's, which is cognition, something out there I figured out, cognition, and communication. Okay, I'm broadcasting to you, communication, and conversation. Okay, conversation's one step further from the communication. And if your conversation is successful, you have consensus building up among the group. Okay, so you're building a community along the 6 C's. And then once you have a consensus, you have coordination. You act together and you co-construct our civilization. So people call this second order cybernetics, and Stuart Ampleby emphasized, call it a second order science. And there are people going on debating what exactly that is. My opinion is, okay, the goal of 6 C's unify this territory. We can call everything here a science two. And there's a Bible-like book I recommend you. It's edited by an organization named OTAing, Organizational Development Network. Their conference has about 10 times size of this one. They are very successful practitioners, consultants, trainers. Okay, the Change Handbook is a very good one. I highly recommend. For Science 2, we have frequent mental models, metaphors shifting in groups and organizations. But as long as you are building up your community, it is good science. So you don't have natural law there. You even cannot find facts there because they're all perspectives and opinions. Now, Science 2 is for community building. Now, Science 3 is what happens when you have different communities playing games with each other. Maybe the game of interests, the game of preference of God. Okay, I have this version of a God, and he has that version of a God. And science 3, I define it as the goal will be the Nash equilibrium among the players of the ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem is larger than your community. It's including others. But the key is, do you want to coexist with that others? If you say yes, we can coexist in this world, then you have fairly well-established rules of the game. Everybody play by the rule. So that's the area of game theory or gray game theory. We have friends here as an expert of a green system theory. Here you focused on your winning probability. But at the bottom line, you do not want to destroy the other. So as long as you don't want to destroy the other, you are in game of science 3. But unfortunately, in this planet, the little blue dot, we have ideologies, we have perspectives, we have a value system that becomes exclusive. That means only my God is the right God. Your God is the wrong God. Therefore, you'd better convert to my God. Otherwise, I will kill you. Unfortunately, if you like it or not, that is existence in our planet. So how are we going to deal with that kind of thing? Exclusivity. Okay. So that is the area. We had somebody, Asian Chinese marshal, who wrote a book, The Art of War. Okay, we have Machiavelli. And here, there is no use to talk about a nice democracy, nice tolerance, because the other side won't tolerate you. So this is really a new field that worth our attention. What are we going to do? In front of unlimited means unrestricted wars in the spirit of ILYD means I live, you die. So if you run into that, or die together, if you run into that, or system cybernetics people really need to find out new ways of how are we going to deal with that kind of a complexity. Okay, so this is the frame of the 4. So we belong to science 2, period. Now, our problematic world needs problem-solving leaders who develop higher cognitive capacity by learning systems and cybernetics. Hopefully, at least that's our hope. If they learn, they can handle more about this, what they call unintended consequences. So the development, I mean, real higher cognitive capacity is not self-perceived. It's double-checked by reality. So the word real means concrete feedback from reality, not abstract. So I had an argument with some of my professors who were in business school who has not worked one day in a real business, even not in a restaurant. So his knowledge about business management is disconnected through this unreliable. We need to search for reliable ways. So we need to actively search for concrete feedback. We have two examples, schools built by Elon Musk for this two address. You can check. It's a very interesting thing going on in our other traditional schools. Now, second session, the word needs a hardcore. Okay, I already said that, but emphasizes this curriculum needs to be young students focused. So we need to make things easier. We should not confuse them boom with a VSM big model and they got lost in the drawings. Easier to attract, sustain their attention, and this needs to be rich in elements for curiosity and fun, but promote serious learning in this cognitive capacity development. We also need to use more reinventing approaches, a name I gave for convert our systems, cybernetic ideas into usable tools for people who are not familiar with the field. And we can use a toolbox metaphor. So I'm promoting that a lot of you have a fancy paper with a fancy model and maybe a silver bullet of solving some problem. That's good. So make it into a useful tool. In this toolbox, we know we have a VSM here as a big hammer. So we hammer everything with VSM, but there are other tools as well. So we need to put them all together and make them available to the students. So toolable, I wish I invented this word right. Toolable is a challenge to all the academics who are working hard on their papers, okay? A good example, again, is that change handbook. Now, let me present the seed number one. Seed number one is a young students learning map. This I mentioned, I had taught in George Washington University of this, and California State University when I was a young professor there, and also in Tsinghua University and Peking University for their summer classes. So this layout, roughly it starts from 4 axioms: holisticness, isomorphic, conditionality, disturbance. It's kind of like a little hot pill they have to swallow first. And then very interesting puzzles. What is life? Okay, engage the student talking about what is life. And then life is homeostasis. Okay, and then how come the homeostasis emerge? Now, the goal set, the control mechanism. Okay, so the feedback thing kicks in here, and then goal setting, and who sets the goals for our body, who set the goals of your body temperature at 37 the degree. And there's something called the self-organization. The self-organization, and then this goes on and on. So the student build up a vision of constructivism through curiosity questions. And we introduce some very, very basic principles like circularity, like law of recursive variety, like eigenmechanism, etc. So at the end of this program, I introduced a total of 9 methodologies as samples. Realist one, 3 pieces. Soft system area, 3 pieces. And the constructivist area, 3 pieces. So that is the seed number 1. It's written in 1993. We need a good update of this thing. That's why we need a group to work together. Now, I have a claim, if you agree or not. the effectiveness and the efficiency of communication within science too, which serves as a key function for community building and the collective problem solving. It's as important as physics within Science 1. So we need to give communication effectiveness and efficiency a special treatment. Therefore, we have seed 2 here. Seed 2 is my work, it's actually my dissertation work, is to expand cybernetics into communication, starting from a dissertation work all the way to my consulting and the training career later years. So all toolable, all become toolarized into 10 easy to remember numbers. So each one representing a little skill that you can learn. One key piece of knowledge, I am biased. I have blind spot. I am unique. Therefore, we engage into communication. It's just theoretically, it's just the first piece. And then immediately they are practical tools like listening. Listening, we have a parallel. Everyone heard about active listening? Yeah, active listening is parroting. So it's it's a bird 1. Bird number 2 is bat. Bat sending out signals to test. So it's a detective listening. Active listening plus detective listening packed into birds. 3 responding voices and 3 talking paths per social style. I cannot explain every one of them here due to time, but the 3 responding voices is a good tool to suspend your ego and to get into better listening situation. So the first song is very simple. It's oh, you heard something different from yours. So hold back your reaction, hold back your urge to counter the opinion. You just say, oh, to invite the others to say more. So I said, oh, ego is going to say more explanation to me. So after I heard a little bit, I said, the second one is, oh, simply means, oh, I'm stuck getting it. Until he explained that thing so clearly that I say, aha. So very simple, 3 songs you remember and use in your conversation. Immediately you have magic things going on. Now, 3 talking paths is a little bit knowledge based, where you all know, everyone had a PhD, knows that the Myers-Briggs type indicator, right? It's 16 categories, very complicated. You do a test to find out what you are. No, that's too complicated. It was simplified into 4 types of social styles. And we have a method to teach people to understand the social style immediately or very quickly. So when you figure out, and you know your social style is one of the 4, and there are 3 types of people different from yours. You need to pay attention to fine-tune what you are going to say to each of them. So even for the same thing, you have 3 ways of saying it. Okay, so those are just examples. I cannot go into details of the rest of them, but you got the idea. So this is the stuff we need to teach students so that they work together much better.
We have to agree with that.
You don't have to, but these are all the tools that you can pick up. So if you start doing things, you will love a toolbox, right? Now, third seed. Third seed is a taxonomy, system thinking. Okay. Your hand, you have 10 fingers, except the unique people who have 11. But 10 fingers. So number one is shopping list finger counting system thinking. It's a little bit go beyond to the normal non-system thinking. So, okay, I have several elements to consider. So, and two is causality tree or fishbone. Here, one thing leads to another, and leads to another. It's sort of like an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so one variable changes, a whole bunch of other variables follows. That kind of a system thinking is not cybernetics yet. Cybernetics emerge at a third level. So you start having causality loops. You have a feedback, you have feed forward here. Okay, so more and more complex, you step into area of self-organizing. You start paying attention to emergence, and then that's not enough because self-organizing processes happens in layers in our world, and there are higher levels based on lower level stability. So once you have a multi-level self-organization, you do not only have a feedback and feed forward going on, you have feed up and the feed down going on. If you see it, you can see it. Now, and then you go to next level, multi-agent in the same ecosystem, the multiple self-organizing processes going on, competing resources. So that's the area of ecology. And then the more complex you go, the more sophisticated phenomena you start capturing, like self-minding. That is what Hans von Forst called a non-trivial machine, because the system, the complexity started developing a little memory of itself. So the memory will change its behavior. So next time behavior is not same with this time. So all the way down to the top level, I think so far, top level is what we call self-reflecting and with our value principles. So that is a taxonomy. And you teach students one level at a time and build them up, because every higher level needs a base of the lower level. Another way to see this is, if you don't like the finger counting, you can visualize it as a building. So at the bottom, you have the traditional natural science single course thinking. So you'll be building up a causality link. And now, second layer, you count more than one courses. And then you start having causality structure tree. And then you have loops going on. And then above loops, you have all kinds of self-organizations going on. You have a non-trivial machine, have a self-guiding system, self-goal setting system, and finally, you gain a capacity of really reflect what you do. So here it's not 10 fingers, it's only 8 layers, because the all self-organization concepts squeezed into the same flow. So any way you prefer to use, build up this taxonomy helps you to understand the whole field. So for example, system dynamics and the VSM and total quality management And the MIT group promoted that system archetypes, templates of complexities. So you can share different methodologies and different models in such a picture for your student, so they can decide which one fits to their current situation better. They make a choice. So in United States, we have a shop called Home Depot or Lowe's. Time. Okay.
My formal task here is timekeeper.
Okay, so I almost done because let's see the number 4 already. Seat number 4 is this a little frontier area map with interesting content that inviting your current work to consider if it can be linked here. From a Popperian 3-word hypothesis, we can push it into 12-word hypothesis. From the 4 classic types of circular causality, we push it into 12 as well. And we also had a little 4-dimensional system thinking template. So that's the last C is this business plan. So what I mean is, since we already had this material, now if we can have a group here. Do we have a group here? No? Where is that, Pat? Somewhere. Okay, so we can start finalizing this content and make it into an online course and offer it to the kids all over the world. So to a box and the cookie cutter model. So WOSC going to be the headquarters of many, many learning centers like McDonald's. So the whole world full of this kind of learning center. Each center had a tutor, a coach, or a facilitator, somebody who guides the kids through interact with Robert online. So that is the vision. Business proposal partners, we need to form a group to start here today. Activities, we develop this seed into mature training products. Resources will be WOSC, WCSI, any system organization, if they are interested, or can join us. We believe that systems and cybernetics knowledge can facilitate the development of young leaders for the 21st century and beyond, worth our fit. Now, here's the very important figure. Customer relation. We can connect as many schools as possible through our members. And then our target is 0.01% of all our athletes. That number is about 800K. It is doable because it is workable. I can let you know later why. So we have channels and cost structure. We need volunteer work from today for 3 years. And then venture capital at that point can get in. And the fee-based phase 3 start making money if possible. I don't mean money, I mean self-sustaining operation. So at least a small bunch of people in this earth understand the systems and cybernetics. I think the bad problems will get better dealt with. So if you signed up, which one is your category here? You can be the co-developer, co-author of the hardcore curriculum, or you can be the contributors to the toolbox. So in the toolbox, I have the box here, so you just put your stuff in after testing it. And the third kind of partner is institutional endorsers, dear Raul. We need your endorsement. And the last one is the pioneering user. You have a group of students somewhere back home, and you can start a learning center there using this curriculum. So you are category 4. So any one of you, please consider to become one of these. So I found from the internet that this piece of value is universal. It's from him, okay, the author. But immediately I found the same thing, same words, and claimed to be said by Bruce Lee. So it's very, at last year at our conference, I proposed we change system thinking into system altering. Oh, okay, this time observe, think, act. I'm soliciting act today. So we can do this. This guy facing the failure, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people working with him. We need a little bit more than that because our work will be more difficult than this work, because this work is in the area of science 1. So as long as you nail down the facts and the laws, you can succeed. And we are in area of science 2. The good news is we already have Eagle signed up, we have Peter signed up, we have Ram signed up. So there are empty spots there. I believe that you can. Where is that little pad? Yeah, how many do we have now? Oh, just one? Ah. Woo, bravo. Okay, I'm done. You go.
So my question to you is, what I understood from what you presented is a proposal for making cybernetics and systems tools accessible to a wider spectrum of learners, of young students. So I'm seeing a categorization here that may help to broaden the appreciation and use of cybernetics and systems tools. And the second element I retained is I can see also in terms of tools and approaches, and please correct me if I'm wrong, a focus, for example, on system dynamics, VSM. And I get to my third point when you speak about collaborations of actors in the field of systems and cybernetics teachings. So I am a teacher, an associate lecturer with the Open University. And the Open University has been teaching systems, approaches, and tools for 55 years. So cohorts of thousands of students, I don't have exact number, have been using these tools. We have a STIP group of 1,500 alumni who share their experiences of using these tools in their practices in their professional world. And the spectrum, the range, the repertoire of approaches and tools taught at the OU cover from hard systems and cybernetics, first order to second order, and include also tools and approaches for social learning. So I can understand here the value, absolutely, of understanding the complexity of causality. It's not just a linear, and we get into the top where you speak, and I think this is really important, of reflexivity, self-reflection. And my question to you is then perhaps there could be also a part of tools there to promote and help people to self-organize, to learn. So my question to you, just to come to it, is how do you see this proposal in terms of duality, not dualism or competition, rather collaboration with existing organizations who have more than half a century of experience of teaching a wide array of approaches beyond system dynamics and VSM? Thank you.
I'm so glad you are here because when I was very young at my first job, my first English letter was written to your university. Open University, actually, the guy's name is John Hollister. I don't know if you, but anyway, large-scale education network has been my dream for a long time. One difference here is that your university needs a tuition, right? Sign-up fee. I'm proposing we do this for free for the kids, for free. So the remote villages in Africa, in India, in China, all of them can be benefit through this. Now they all have some kind of a cellular phone, a smartphone. So once they have a minimized tool to get access, this program can benefit them. Of course, it will be a dream if OU can be part of this. I can work with WOSC. That would be wonderful. And content-wise, it's purely open. So that's why we need a group here, because that was just my own, from my experience, my own attention. I may missed something. Yeah, social learning part is a little bit more difficult than this because it needs really real face-to-face interaction. We teach facilitation skills back in China, and after we went back here, we're trying to convert this into online. It's very hard. The element of face-to-face interaction, it's very hard to achieve online. Maybe now it's better due to the AI assistant, but we can work on that. Have you signed? Yes. Great, great, please.
Thank you, Jason. Very illuminating. I have something to, I mean, it's more of a reflection, not really a question. The whole approach of education is, and we're talking especially of competing with mainstream scientific education, mainstream educational culture, in a sense. But this is also very intellectual centric. When we talk about students, say, in Africa or India, again, access is going to be through English, through an intellectual approach to learning cybernetics. So I was wondering if aren't the concepts of cybernetics and systems, aren't they also available in the human body, for example? And this was something that I was supposed to present next week, is the sophisticated use of the self, of the body, is a portal to concepts of recursion and autonomy, and provides a non-intellectual but more of a experiential and an embodied approach to learning the core concepts of systems and cybernetics. And the radical idea here is, why not look at systems and cybernetic education through the sophisticated culture of the body and the self? For example, Qigong. Qigong has recursion, and it has autonomy, and it has intent and purpose alignment. And I think that there is wisdom there that can be interpreted in the cybernetic and system sense.
You can just create YouTube programs teaching people doing those things. Yeah, exactly. Some kids like to read, always read, and they don't want to move like me. But there are other kids, they have to move, move around. So if we have program called WOSC exercises, right?
Something we can do.
Yeah.
But
Yes. I'm 100% support that. If we have manpower, I mean woman power.
Yes.